He told us in His Word
Amen.
is just as real today as the day that it was written. Do y'all hear that? Do you understand that? It's not just stories.
No.
It's not just stories that's been passed down through the years. It's alive. It's a living word. And whenever He told us that by His stripes we are healed,
Amen.
we can believe that.
Yes.
We can believe that. Amen. Most of you have heard my testimony about how I was born with a bone disease that caused my bones to break very easily, and had my first broken bone when I was only 3 weeks old. I remember it like it was yesterday. Not quite. But from 3 weeks old all through my childhood especially, I just had numerous broken bones. I could just raise my arm up the wrong way and it would pop in two, or turn over in bed the wrong way and break a leg. The doctor said that would be the story of my life. They said if you live to be an adult, that'll be a long life for you. That you'll have to be in some kind of nursing home or somewhere that you'll have to be waited on hand and foot. But God had other plans.
Amen.
And I'm so thankful that
Yes, Lord.
God had a plan for my life. And when I was born and my mom and dad found out that I had this bone disease, I asked them about it recently, and I said, did y'all, I know that they knew that there was a chance that I would have it because their first baby was a little girl, and she was born with a broken leg, and she passed away when she was 5 weeks old. And the doctors told mom and dad, said, y'all don't have any more kids. If you want to adopt, that'll be good, but there's no reason to do that. There's no reason to chance that another child could have this bone disease. And my dad said he thought back, and he said, you know what? If I could go back and talk to my mom. See, my dad had the same bone disease. He had over 200 broken bones in his body throughout his life. And he said, you know what? If I could go back and I could talk to my mama, even with the pain, even with everything that I've been through, I would say, Mama, please keep me. Please let me be born. He said, because I've had a good life. And so my mom and dad chose to have me and my brother. Now my brother's 2.5 years older than me. He's about 6 feet tall, and he is a whole lot uglier than I am. But he don't have any part of the bone disease. Amen. God's good. Amen. He's a big old strong guy. He's the best musician I have ever heard play and sing. And then here I came. And I asked Mom and Dad the other day, I said, whenever y'all went in and you knew that I was going to be born, I said, did they run any tests? And they said, yeah, they had run tests and looked. And they said, this baby is going to be perfectly normal. There's nothing about the bone disease in him. It's going to be great. And when I was born, it seemed that way. I came out screaming and hollering just like every other little baby. But at 3 weeks old, my mom was giving me a bath, and she picked me up out of that little tub. Well, it was probably the sink at that time, because how many of y'all used to have baths in the sink, you know? And I kicked my leg, and when I did, my mom heard a pop, followed by that blood-curdling scream that always came on after it. and they knew that the doctors were wrong. They knew I did have the bone disease. That was the first of many trips from Chatham, Alabama to Mobile, Alabama, about an hour and a half. My daddy said that we should own at least one wing of Mobile Infirmary because we were there all the time. Body casts, hospital beds in our living room, things that a lot of people would say was the worst thing in the world. And there were a lot of times that when I was going through it, I said, yep, this is the worst thing in the world. But now I look back on it and I look at things that God did during those times, during those times of questioning and saying, God, why? Why me? Why do I have to be the one laying here? Why, I'm no different than everybody else. I don't think I'm any meaner than my next door neighbor Peter was a whole lot meaner than I was, I can tell you. But God, I'm not as mean as him. Why in the world am I having to go through this? But now I can look back and I can see that if I'd have been running around playing football, baseball, and basketball, I might have never seen that little toy piano in the corner that Mom and Dad had bought me. And music might have not have been as dear to me as what it is because, see, that's all I had while I was laying in the bed. And now, God's taken music and He's built my life around it. And then He's taken that music and given me an opportunity to preach His Word, to sing His Word, and to try my best to be an encouragement, to tell somebody, no matter what you're going through, God's got a plan. God's got a plan. And this is Brother Wayne. Every time we go to his church or he comes to be with us somewhere, he always asks me to sing this song. He sings this song. I wrote this a long time ago. It just says, God uses broken vessels when others just throw them away. He just picks up the pieces and puts them together. God uses broken vessels. I'm so glad He does. I'm so glad He uses broken vessels. He picks us up and He puts us better, puts us back together, and we're better than we ever was before. Amen. Now we may still have some scars. We may still have some cracks and some breaks but you see, that's just places that God's light can shine through.
Yes.
Amen. But you see, those doctors were wrong.
Amen.
You see, because I was saved when I was 12 years old, and since the day I gave my heart to the Lord, I've never had another broken bone in my life. God's good. My dad is in a wheelchair. He's never taken a step in his life. His testimony is about the same as mine. He was saved when he was 16 years old, and he never had another broken bone. That can take you to a whole bunch of people that have this bone disease that are my age, and they're still breaking every day. And there's a whole lot of them that didn't make it.